Welcome to NUSKA. Hello, everybody. I bet this is a voice that you never thought that you would hear again, but lo and behold. Hello, friends. I am back. It has been a while. If you've been subscribed for some time, you will probably remember this as the Practical Growth podcast with E.B. Johnson. It's been over a year since the last episode I released, I think, and a lot has changed. A lot has changed since then, both in my life and in my work and in with what I want to share with you, especially as it comes to this podcast. Now, whoa, I can already hear some of you kind of, screaming at the phone or wherever you're listening to this podcast. Are you changing the podcast? Yes and no. Practical Growth is going to become NUSKA, which is my newest project. And I know a lot of you probably wonder why that change. It's just come to that point. When I started Practical Growth, it was about personal development. It was about coaching, and it was about mental health, especially where trauma was concerned, right? And while those things are still important to me, I've realized that I want to create something bigger and something that reflects all of me, not just that one-sided kind of experience of who I am and the work that I do. I want to show you the rest. I want to show you E.B. the writer, E.B. the artist, E.B. the storyteller, and most importantly, I want to be able to share your stories as well. So I'll be reintroducing this podcast under the new name NUSKA, Illuminating the Darkness. Now, that name is really important to me for a couple of different reasons. For those who know me well, you'll know my passion for history, especially ancient history. And NUSKA happens to be the god of illumination in ancient Mesopotamia. He was the god that held the lantern against the darkness. And that's kind of what I want this podcast to be. That's certainly what it represents to me. It's kind of an island, a beacon of something brighter, something better in a world that has more or less become really, really chaotic. And I ultimately hope that, going from practical growth and trauma and these fraught relationships to NUSKA, I hope it will be that illumination for you. So from here on out, Practical Growth will become NUSKA. And NUSKA is going to be a space for storytelling, both fiction, history, myth, and the unexpected. We'll cover some current events. We'll cover some strange stories, some strange tales, and all of them are going to have one thing in common. They're going to carry a thread of hope or a thread of optimism or maybe a thread of dissociation if the need comes to it. Some episodes will share real tales from the past. Others might dive into fiction or poetry, or who knows where the road goes. And I'll also be weaving in some of my art and personal reflections, giving you a more creative, honest, and expansive experience than I ever have before. Just wait. You're going to be excited about this one. I want you to think of this new version of my work as kind of like gathering around a fire. Sometimes we're going to laugh, sometimes we might cry, but we're always going to leave with a little more light than we came in. This is also the official relaunch of my Patreon, which is going to give you many different ways to both support me, to interact with the podcast, and to get a behind the scenes look at everything that's been going on in my life and with this new project. If you'd like to be a part of that community, you can head to patreon.com/NUSKA. NUSKA, and there you'll find more of my writing. You'll find poetry. I'm going to be sharing my in-progress novels and providing some ARC copies for some of my followers. There's all kinds of good stuff, paintings, behind the scenes. It's going to be a really, really fun time. So if you want some conversations you're not going to hear anywhere else, and you want to get to know more about me and the NUSKA podcast, head over to patreon.com/NUSKA. And for everyone else, welcome or welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here for this new chapter. The next episode will be the first official story under the NUSKA banner, and I cannot wait to share it with you. This has been a labor of love, long in the making, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So here's to illuminating the darkness together.